And here's the reason why I went with the fresh orange rinds, because I put this in what I thought was 350, supposed to be good for 15 minutes. Yeah, they ended up getting pretty burnt in about 5, maybe 7 minutes. Hey everyone, cheers! Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Drinking up on the coconut IPA, exact same recipe as the first time. It's only been in a keg for about just a little bit over a week, and I didn't use any finance whatsoever, so it's cloudy, and that's okay. I'm not a... Yes, I like clear beers, and I pride myself on clear beers, but I don't frown upon cloudy beers either. It's perfectly alright. Anyways, it's tasting great. It's fabulous. Coconut is ever present, really up front. It will, of course, die down over time, but it's tasting really good. It's great. Anyways, I was able to brew up the orange Creamsicle beer. Dude, let's go ahead and take some look at the footage of that, and we'll see you after. Hi, today I'm going to be brewing up my orange Creamsicle recipe. It was inspired by one I pulled off from Homebrew Talk, but I did change up the recipe a little bit. It's pretty much just simplified, that's all. So let's go ahead and show you a quick recipe of that, and then we'll get on to brewing. Quick shot of the recipe is going to be just a 5-gallon batch today, but pretty much just going to focus on using Mara solder, a little bit of carapils with Crystal 40. That's about all there is in the grist. I'll also be adding in lactose during the boil. I'll be using Centennial for bittering. I'll also be using some orange peels at the 15-minute mark. About 3 to 4 orange of zest worth. And then we'll lamb it for at 5 minutes for a taste and mostly aroma. I'm not going to be using a lot of hops because that's really not what I want to be pronouncing here. Really all we should get out of this is for taste is the orange peel. Then also I'll be adding in some vanilla beans in the secondary. I'll be using White Lab 080 today. It's the cream ale yeast blend, which is a blend of ale yeast and lager yeast. Alright, so what I want is about 3.25 kilograms of the Mara solder, so I'll grab that now. 3.2, 3.3. Oops, I wanted 3.25, right? Yep, I'm a bit over. 2.5. There we go, 3.254. Switch. I got my head bucket here. Just pour that in. Alright. Okay, next I'll be using some Crystal 40. For that I only need 300 grams, so I'll just use this. Set the units right. Don't give me grams. Okay, 300 grams. That was about 310. There we go, 300. Okay, we'll add this to the box. Okay, and then it's going to be 200 grams of carapils. $200, $201, good enough. Alright, we'll add that to the box. Now let's crush it up. Let's take a look at that crush. Pretty good. Not bad. Alright. So over here, got the strike water heating up to 75. So it's doing pretty good in there. Got the pump going. Water's recirculating. Good to go. Mash tun's all set up. Vault bottom's ready to go. I'll stick the sparge arm on there when I'm ready after it's stowed in. And the boil kettle today is all set, ready to go, ready to receive. 2 pumps. Just got to hook up the cables, and I'm going to go ahead and put the grains into the mash tun, and then I'll add the water after when it's ready. There we go, all ready to receive. Alright, so we're at strike temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting some water into the mash tun. Let's go ahead and take a look. Strike water today is going to be about 5 gallons. We started off with 13.5. So we want to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down here to 8.5. Bringing all that water down. And it's coming out of here, going into the bottom of the pump. Let's bring that in focus. Out of the bottom of the pump, then back up to the top. Up into the bottom of the mash tun. And water should start to appear here pretty soon. There we go. There's some water coming up from the bottom. It's good. Maybe about another 1.5 gallons. Doesn't look like the sparge arm is going to be very useful today. Call it right there. It's good to meet. I'll give that a stir. Just a second. We'll come right back. Alright, so mashed in, stirred up. Looking pretty fluid there. Not bad though. Use 5 gallons water for about 4 kilos of grain. But that's alright. We'll do a continuous sparge today, so that should be alright. Alright, so mash time is up. Currently raising for a mash out temp, and the mash tun is currently 65 degrees. It's been 65 degrees the whole time. And show you what that looks like. We're here. The wort coming out. It's looking really clear. You can see underneath the grain bed, down to the grain bed. Got a little screwdriver here to keep the valve open for me. That's alright. It's working pretty good. So, time to mash out. Start filling up the boil kettle. Let's check that out, coming in. It's looking pretty good. It's running a little bit fast, so I'll slow that down a bit. Let's see here. Time to make sure the mash tun's good. I always love this part when it starts to flow on top of the hot blocker. Pretty light looking beer. Alright, well there's a shot at the color. And bringing it up to a boil now. About 92 degrees. Just a little bit more to go. And yeah, getting there. Alright, that's a pretty aggressive boil, so I think I'm going to turn that down even a little bit more. Bring that down to about 75. It's looking a little bit better. Alright. Call that hot break. 22 grams of Centennial. Here we go. Here, set the timer, count up to 60 minutes. Alright, so we're up in my kitchen, and pretty much I've got 4 cleaned oranges here, and I'm going to use a potato peeler to take off the skins of the potatoes, the rinds. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the cookie sheet. I'm going to cook them at 350 for 20 minutes. So we'll just start off here with the orange. Just peel off the skins, cut them in there. Pretty much just want to zest them up. It comes out to 52 grams, not quite 2 ounces, that would be 56. And I actually had to take up another orange, so that's 5 oranges and their rinds. So that's what I got, that's what I'm going to use. 52 grams of orange rinds. Alright, so here we go, that's the 52 grams. Set it in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, so it's about 15 minutes left in the boil. I got a few additions here. One is the lactose. It's about a pound of lactose. I'm also going to add in the fresh orange rinds. Stir that up a bit. And I've also got the Werflock and the yeast nutrient. Okay, 5 minutes left in the boil. Time for 14 grams of willamette. There it goes. Alright, got the hoses coming in for the wort chiller. So coming out of the kettle, to the bottom of the pump, to the top of the pump, to the top of the wort chiller, down, out, and up in here. Coming in at a cool 16, that's 12, 14 degrees, 15 degrees. Alright, here we go with the cream ale yeast blend, WLP 080. I'm going to just pour this in there. There we go. Hope you use these like your new home and do good for daddy. Alright, there we go. Airlock's on it. Currently about 20 degrees. And it should slowly cool in here a little bit. I'm going to drop it down to about 19. Here's the WLP002 Centennial Maris Otter Smash that I put in the Brett Bruxtois. At the bottom you can see a little bit of sort of yeast buildup. That's about the only sign of activity I've seen since pitching the Brett. So it's a little bit of activity, a little bit of sediment in there from the yeast. Looks like the culture is building up a little bit. So yeah, that's the Brett beer. All right, we'll let that ferment. 20 liters. Final gravity, or original gravity on that is 1054. So I did overshoot that quite a bit, but I think it's because of the milk sugar, the lactose. Yeah. And here's the reason why I went with the fresh orange rinds, because I put this in what I thought was 350, supposed to be good for 15 minutes. Yeah, they ended up getting pretty burnt in about 5, maybe 7 minutes. So yeah, I went ahead and took rinds off 3 other oranges. So I only put in about 42 grams actually. Yeah, interesting. So I got the idea about toasting the orange peels in the oven on 350 for 15 minutes by Chubby. Chubby, that's not what you did. my 350, your 350 are different. Maybe you meant 150 or just 50. Because 350 for 5 minutes turned my apple peels into burnt, unrecognizable orange peels. It looked like, anyway, was not pretty. So I had to take some more rinds off some other oranges, and then I wasn't going to try and toast them. I just threw them in raw, cleaned them of course, and then put them in after I sliced them up. But all in all, the brew day went really well. Everything went fine. Everything's in the fermenter, seems to be doing well, and nothing but good hopes for that one. I will put some vanilla beans in some vodka, and I'll sort of let that soak for about a week, and then when I rack it off in the secondary, I'll go ahead and throw the vanilla beans in with it and let it sit there for about probably 5 to 7 days, and then keg it. But yeah, that's about all that's been going on over on this side of the world. Next week, I don't think I'll be able to put out a Homebrew Wednesday. I will be up on a winter vacation skiing towards Hemsedal, Norway. Brews on the horizon. I was thinking about doing more smashes. You know, try experiment more with Maillard effects. Basically, when you take some run-ins, say if you take like a first gallon of your run-ins and then boil that down to about a pint, basically caramelizing the wort, you're creating these things called Maillard reactions within the sugars of the beer. They're basically melding the compounds and then creating more coffee, toffee, sort of, not coffee, but creating more toffee, caramel, thicker mouthfeel sort of textures to that wort, and then when you add it in with the rest of the wort, you know, it will, you know, create a darker beer slightly. I mean, just ever so slightly, not significant. I mean, it's only a pint of darkness into, you know, a fairly light 3 to 5 SRM beer anyway, so you know, you're not going to create anything greater than a 7 or an 8 maybe. But you know, it will definitely add in some complexity to the smash, and it's an interesting thing. I know a couple of the guys in the UK are trying it out for the smash off, and you know, good luck with that. I took a different route. I decided to simplify my smashes as well. I'm just straight up Maris Otter and Centennial hops, and that's about it. I used the WLP 002 is the one that didn't go sour, and so that'll be the one that I submit. I don't have any brew footage of it, but I did show it to you in the primary. I'll be kegging that off here probably, well, as soon as I get a free keg. Yeah, and it's got to be in the next few weeks anyways before we send them out over to the UK. Really looking forward to the SJ Pour Challenge, racking my brain about what I'll come up with for that. There's such a lot of variety to choose from. If it's going to be like brew your best beer, if you're going to be a brewery, you know, what sort of beer do you want to be known for? You got crazy beers. I was thinking about doing like a chai tea IPA, or just a chai pale ale, something like that. There's also a local brewery who does a wasabi stout. You know, wasabi, the little green horseradishy based sort of spice that when you eat sushi is there. Wasabi stout. It's kind of on the back end. It's kind of interesting. You know, there's all sorts of things to do, to try. About pumpkin pie, well, that's already been done, pumpkin ales. About cherry pie, well, that's already been done, cherry ales. Apple pie? Is there an apple pie beer? Might have to try that. But anyways, that's all from here. I hope you guys are having a hell of a Homebrew Wednesday. Have a hell of a week and a better weekend. Cheers.